A clear direction that the priority was to provide the benefit to Canadians, and we needed to adapt our system to do that, and we did.
So the government doesn't have to follow the words that are approved by Parliament. Are you saying the government ignored the law? Did the government give you direction to ignore the law?
We didn't ignore the law. We follow the law that was approved by Parliament for the CERB, and we follow the integrity framework that is presented in that. We're doing exactly what the law allows us to do. We have adapted.
I'm sorry, sir. The CRB Act says very clearly. It says very clearly that someone has to have $5,000 worth of income, and they also need to.
Point of order. Yeah,
Mr. Vaughn. This is really objectionable in terms of accusing a senior member of the public service of deliberately breaking the law.
That's not a point of order.
And I would ask that the chair rule this line of questioning out of order in respect to the fact that it is a direct attack on the integrity of the individual, and he is unable to defend himself as the member opposite continually interrupts.
Mr. Vaughn, I respectfully disagree. This is a matter that is relevant. Mr. Albus, just out of courtesy to the witness, you should allow him to respond, but your questions are not inappropriate. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll try my best. Sir, you've said here today that you are not following, you're following a memo and not what is laid out in the CERB Act. So let me ask you this question. If a senior, let's say age 75, who phones in or applies online, has no T4 income or any other income for the 2019 year, would they be red flagged, and would they be processed under the current memo?
I will go back to to your question. You said
I'd like, you know what, maybe that line of questioning, perhaps, Mr. Vaughn, but if you could please answer my question.
You said that I said that I was following we were following a memo, and
that totals for them over $1,000 to help them get through the additional costs and cope with the COVID pandemic. I'm not sure if with the officials would like to chime in and give any more information. I'm certainly thinking that might be helpful.
Well, we'll certainly have time for that in the second round, Minister. Thank you. Something that has been of great concern to me is the Service Canada phone system, which has been overwhelmed for months with long wait times and people's inability to get through. Absolutely, it inadvertently impacts seniors. As for many, the phone is their only form of communication right now. And since Service Canada centers are closed, it makes it more difficult for seniors, and many seniors, of course, aren't comfortable using the internet. So I'm wondering what you've done to ensure seniors have received timely access to Service Canada so that they can access the benefits that they need, please.
Short answer, please, Minister.
Thank you. What we've done is put extra staff into Service Canada and into the areas that need to be able to work on getting these benefits out the door. So we've been assigning staff accordingly within the department to try to help reduce those backlogs. There was a peak as new programs came on, and then they've evened out and it's gotten better. So I just want to say we're very mindful. We're keeping an eye on that and putting more resources where required so that Canadians and seniors can get the benefits that they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister, and thank you, Ms. Q.
Of staying home, of self-isolating, of keeping 2 meters distance, of not seeing parents and grandparents, could all go up in smoke if...
French, sorry about that, but I think I got the gist of it. Yes, based on the regulation that are going to be that are public as of today, the threshold for the income exemption is the same than for CERB, so it's $1,000. So in principle, if you earn more than that, you are not eligible to the benefit for that 4-week period. Yeah.
Thank you. Well,
I would urge the government to take into consideration flexibility in that instance. I mean, it serves as a disincentive, right, for this individual to actually have to turn down their job because she's $40 over in qualifying. Now we're in a situation where there are efforts to have people return to work. In some instances, I'm already hearing concerns from constituents about workplace safety, protective equipment, and so on, the lack of protective equipment and so on. If in those circumstances, a person refuses to return to work because they don't feel that is a safe work environment, would they still be eligible for CERB?
That's a very interesting question, a very good question. I will first mention that before CERB, after CERB, and as CERB exists, there's a labor code process for refusal to work because of you believe you are in danger or you put in danger someone. And so there's a process with the employers, and through that process, there's investigation and all that happen for federally regulated employees and employers. It's the federal government that would do that will look at this inspection. In fact, it's a labor program that is within ESDC that would do this. And I have to say that what is important to know is that through the process, that the worker is eligible should be paid by the employers. I think at the end of the process, if it's viewed that it was dangerous effectively to work and you don't want to go back to work, you are totally eligible to CERB. But someone need effectively to use that protection through the labor code in a situation like that. This is what workers should do.
So you have to file a complaint and then wait for the outcome. And then in the meantime, do you have to keep on going to work?
No. No.
So as soon as you file the complaint, then you will be able to not go to work and then still.
Through that process, in most provinces and at the federal level, you could withdraw yourself from the work. The investigation is going on. If it's found at the end, for example, there was no danger, the employer couldn't have provide penalties or anything like that. So the employee is protected.